Well, thank you, Martin. Thank you for being here. We just had a great session. I wanted to follow up a little bit on the conversation. One of the things I said at the beginning is that purpose means many different things. But in the context of seeking growth, sometimes it's actually quite difficult for managers to find a way of connecting purpose and their growth agenda. And you spoke about some of the challenges that you see in your organization. Can you give us an example? Can you think of a moment where you were able to overcome those challenges?
So I think one needs to try to identify what are those kind of social benefits that you or we as a company can actually address and find that connect between the issues that are in the society and how you can actually find a solution within your own company and the way you operate. And when you find that connect, then of course you have a good opportunity there.
I'd also, just to add to what Martin is saying, I wonder how we're defining growth, because some brands like to say growth is really a top line issue or revenue. But for us, actually, as a new company being on this very early journey, growth is simply about aligning the 70,000 employees we have toward the same goals. And that's been a big challenge for the organization, that if we don't get everybody on the same page with, it'll be very difficult for us to achieve actually our annual targets and our financial commitments. So social purpose has been a real galvanizer and activator to getting everyone onto the same page, understanding what it means to be LIXIL and what it means to be achieving this broader set of goals within our social purpose platform. So I think that's another way of thinking about growth. It's not just a direct translation of dollars and cents.
Oh, I agree with that, and I can echo the galvanization, because we have experienced exactly the same thing. And I think what it also needs to, what the leadership and the purpose need to guide to is, of course, into the future and point out what kind of issues, societal issues, are the ones that are relevant for us as a company and where we can contribute with making a change.
Now, that galvanization that often happens among our employees is something that we actually try to create among our customers as well, and our consumers, right? Can we galvanize their passion for our brands as a result of sort of investing on purpose? But that, it's not easy to do. We hear a lot of companies that take missteps and they fail to really use purpose as a way that motivates consumers to select their products. An example is Sun Chips. You may remember a few years ago, they launched a biodegradable package. I mean, all of us that were following this space, we were really clapping about this. And what happened 3 months later? They had to pull the product because consumers were complaining it was too loud. So the convenience, the price, the typical basic things that we often base our decisions on sometimes get in the way of very important innovation. So just wondering, how do you guys talk about this inside your organizations? Will consumers see value in this? And if not, what do we need to do?
Well, we are trying to, when we think about those kind of products that can create social benefits on top of what our consumers expect from our products anyhow, and the solutions that we provide, we try to find those issues in the society. So food waste, for instance, everyone knows there is an issue with food waste in the world. And if we accept that as a fact, and if we look into our organization, then we can actually develop both products and solutions that are not only helping you create better tasting food as you want to, but it is also helping you to contribute to the solution to food waste.
And because you're starting with an issue that is culturally relevant, you're probably setting itself for it to be more noticeable.
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't add more to that. That's excellent, and I would fully agree. I mean, we'd be applying the same sort of principles around what are the issues that are relevant to our consumers, and do we think we have in our core expertise an ability to contribute to that, to improve that issue. And if we don't, we don't go there. And I think that's basically a discipline you have to have as a corporation.
I love you said that as discipline in a way, because one way of thinking about purpose and business is that it's a different way of growing. It's a different discipline.
Yes.
It's a different capability. If you take somebody that is used to doing marketing, for instance, in the traditional way, and you ask them to integrate purpose, they very likely are going to step on a mine. Right? They're going to oversee maybe the stakeholder needs. they may study consumers differently in the wrong way. So do you guys think it's true?
Yeah, I think there is definitely risks and challenges. So one has to think those through. But I also think that you need to go back to where you come from and see what kind of values have you created in the past, and kind of continue on that path when you seek for those solutions that you feel that your company can help out with.
In our case, the corporate brand LIXIL is establishing the social purpose strategy, and really it's to basically lift these other product brands which have been around for 100 and 150 years. We want to be able to say that behind the Goya brand or the American Standard brand stands a brand that really can represent something much broader, bigger, beyond profits, and that every bit of our work, in addition to top quality design, the best form of engineering, is a company that's also contributing to safe sanitation and hygiene in the world. So I think for us, the corporate brand is trying to deliver more value to the product brands, because the product brands are really what's famous, and the corporate brand is very new.
I also think that not only employees but consumers, they do buy products on the basis of the benefits that they are looking for, and of course they look into the brands that they trust. But I also think that we will see an increasingly amount of people who actually wants to participate and create a difference here. And one way of doing that is, of course, a little bit voting with their feet. What kind of decisions can you make in your life here and now today? And one decision is, of course, when you buy a new product or a service, or go to look for a new company. So you want that benefits, that service that you're looking for, but maybe they add an additional value here that you actually like and can then.
So if we think about it that way, then the social purpose becomes almost like a new attribute of your brand, right? So you sell bagels, maybe the design, the price, the color, and then there's a social brand. And then the question is, how do you assess the value of that additional attribute? And one thing I believe is important, changing the discipline, is that we cannot rely on reported preferences. We cannot ask consumers. One of the things that we say in the article is, don't ask your consumer about your purpose. Because they're going to give you misleading information. The risk of social bias is so large that we end up with these large numbers, purchasing intent of 85% of people when they heard we did X, Y, Z. But in reality, convenience, price, design, appeal, all these other things are also part of their consideration. So you need to include all the other alternatives, and you have to derive the benefit by doing discrete choice models, experiments, conjoints, other methods than the ones that we traditionally use to assess the value of social benefits.
It's definitely a new kind of journey for any kind of company, and we are very humble about that from our point of view. But we think that the importance of the social benefits when it comes to our products and solutions, we believe will grow in the future, and we believe that this can become a competitive advantage. And that competitive advantage, you don't create that overnight. It has to come from inside. It has to come from the top, but it also has to be part of the strategy that you actually apply in the company. So it's a long-term work.
Yeah, I completely agree, Martin. You nailed it. That's exactly right. And I think companies that really get it will think long-term about social purpose in this way. For us, it began as an inside-out journey. It was about getting employees on board. Today, increasingly, when a stakeholder, whether it's a government official or a regulator or a business partner in a new market, learns about LIXIL, the corporation, they know about us through our sanitation and hygiene work. So I think increasingly it does become part of your reputation and your brand, and it helps you open up new channels and new markets.
Exactly.
But it always comes back to really being about inside out and really getting employees on board, working that extra 10% because they really believe that this company is working on a set of values that go well beyond profits with a clear definition of what really matters, which is really our social purpose.
And I think important there, you mentioned the employees, which is of course a core. It's through the employees things are happening, and it's not actually the silver bullets or the big decisions that are the game changers. I think it's the many decisions made on all kinds of levels within the company that is actually turning the ship in a certain direction. And newcomers, independent of age, but of course more millennials than others, they don't particularly ask about the salary immediately. They actually look to what kind of purpose, what kind of contribution does your company provide, and do I want to be part of that or not?
When I reflect on what you guys are saying, to me is nothing short of a transformation. You're saying our businesses is being transformed by the pursuit of a social purpose. Our ability to engage our employees, our ability to build competitive advantage. But I often feel that when we talk about transformation, we talk about digital transformation. We talk about technology transformation, right? But when we talk about purpose, we talk about responsibility. We talk about doing good. And I actually think we need to steal a page from the people leading the digital transformation, the way they're framing this to investors and to CFOs and inside organizations. Because this is not a second level of transformation. This is as equal as digital transformation in securing the sustainability.
Well, I also oversee investor relations, and I'll tell you right now, when we sit down with BlackRock or any of our investors, they ask us far more questions about purpose than they do about digital transformation.
Wonderful.
So I actually think the share of voice among really long-term, high-quality investors who own our stock, they're actually very interested in how you're driving purpose, and they can break it down in terms of very concrete questions. And that's actually happened much more often in the last, say, 3 to 5 years than, in the past. It was always about balance sheet and the P&L and where we're going to hit certain metrics on efficiencies and so forth. Those questions still happen, but increasingly more, they want to understand whether you're thinking about those answers through the prism of purpose.
Yes. I can echo that. It's the same thing for us. Not from a sustainability point of view, it's not only the environmental aspect, but also the social aspects, and increasingly a number of questions you can find through different kind of investor relations meeting, AGMs, and so on. So it's an important part of the decision making. For some of them, it's kind of hygiene factors. It become a choice for us as long as you have this in place. But of course, we look at a number of other things before we start to invest in you or not. But if you don't have this in order, then you are by default not an option for us.
Well, guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on making the purpose work, and keep up the great work.
Thank you very much.